It's Sunday night. You're sitting at your kitchen table, staring at a mountain of receipts and a banking app that seems to be judging you. You promised yourself this month would be different. You've got the color-coded spreadsheet, the envelope method apps, and you even skipped the oat milk latte twice last week. But then, life happened. The car made a weird clicking noise. $400. Your best friend got engaged. Engagement party gift, $100. And honestly, after a brutal Tuesday at work, that $45 Thai takeout felt like a medical necessity. Now you're looking at your miscellaneous category, which is currently screaming in red text, and you feel like a total failure. Here's the thing. You're not undisciplined. You're not bad with money. You're just trying to use a 19th century survival strategy to win a 21st century wealth game, and it's literally designed to make you fail. My name is Gustavo, and I spend way too much time thinking about the architecture of wealth and how most of the financial advice we're fed is actually keeping us broke. If you're someone who has started a budget a dozen times only to abandon it 3 weeks later, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we are deconstructing the budgeting myth and building a system that actually works for humans, not robots. Look, we've been told that wealth is built by clipping coupons and tracking every cent. The financial industry loves to diagnose your lack of a Starbucks habit as the reason you can't retire. But let's look at the actual data. Did you know that traditional budgeting has a track record of failure that spans centuries? Take King George III. In 1760, he traded his royal revenues for a fixed civil list of £700,000 a year, which is about $148 million today. He was supposed to be frugal, but life happened, specifically the American Revolution. The budget was obliterated. It's the same today. The US government has overspent its budget 87% of the time over the last 70 years. In the corporate world, there's something called the budgeting paradox. The more time and money a company spends creating a perfect budget, the more irrelevant it becomes. By the time the spreadsheet is done, the world has changed. Inflation spikes, supply chains break, or a competitor launches a new product. If the US Treasury and Fortune 500 companies can't make a line item budget work, why on earth do we expect a tired parent or a busy software engineer to do it perfectly every month? Most people think they are the only ones failing. They aren't. 84% of Americans claim to have a budget. 83% of those same people admit they regularly overspend it. We are obsessed with micromanagement when we should be focused on macro engineering. You aren't losing the wealth game because you spent $4 on a coffee. You're losing because you haven't automated the systems that capture growth. Here's what most people don't realize. Budgeting is exactly like a crash diet. The average adult makes about 35,000 decisions a day. Every time you ask yourself, can I afford this $12 lunch? Or should I buy the name brand soap? You are burning through your limited supply of willpower. Psychologists call this decision fatigue. When your brain's executive function gets tired, you stop making rational choices. This is why you spend all day being good. And then at 9 p.m., you impulsively buy $200 worth of stuff on Amazon. Research shows the average American wastes about $314 a month on these emotional impulse purchases. That's $3,768 a year gone, not because you're bad, but because your brain is exhausted from trying to track pennies. For high achievers, the problem isn't just spending, it's the one more year, OMI syndrome. I've seen people who have literally millions of dollars, enough to live off the 4% rule forever, who are terrified to quit their jobs. They say, just one more year to be safe. They sacrifice their health and their kids' childhoods to stack more money they will likely die before spending. This is where it gets really interesting. Wealth isn't just a number in a bank account, it's a psychological state of time freedom. If your money doesn't give you your time back, you're just a high-paid prisoner. So, if traditional budgeting is a dumpster fire, what actually works? We need to move from tracking to architecting. This is the most sustainable way to build wealth. Instead of tracking what goes out, you automate what stays in. Let's say you earn $6,000 a month post-tax. The second that paycheck hits, $1,200, 20%, is automatically pulled into a total stock market index fund. $3,000 goes to a separate bills account. You have $1,800 left in your checking account. Here is the magic. You can spend that $1,800 on literally whatever you want. Guilt-free, no spreadsheets, no tracking. If you want to buy a gold-plated toaster, go for it. Because your future is already paid for. You've removed the human error. Most people think they have to save aggressively for 40 years. That's exhausting. Coastfire is about front-loading the work. If you can save a specific amount, your Coastfire number, early enough, you can stop saving for retirement entirely. Compound interest does the rest. If you are 25 and you manage to get $100,000 into a diversified portfolio and it earns a 7% inflation-adjusted return, by the time you're 65, that $100,000 has turned into roughly $1.5 million without you ever adding another cent. Think about that. You could spend every dollar you earn from age 26 to 65 and still retire a millionaire. That is the math of freedom. To speed this up, you need to widen the gap, the difference between what you earn and what you spend. Don't do this by skipping lattes, do it by attacking the big three: housing, transportation, and taxes. One of the most powerful moves is geo-arbitrage. For example, look at the San Diego to Tijuana dynamic. By earning USD and living in a lower-cost region, you can dump an extra $3,000 a month into the market. That's how you reach your Coast Fire number in 5 years instead of 25. Now you might be thinking, Gustavo, this sounds great, but what if the market crashes right when I stop working? This is a valid fear called sequence of returns risk, SORR. If you retire and the market drops 20% in year one and you're forced to sell stocks to buy groceries, you're selling at the bottom. That can ruin a portfolio. To fix this, we use a bucket strategy. Keep 3 to 5 years of living expenses in cash or high-yield savings for your bridge, and keep the rest in the stock market for growth. If the market crashes, you don't touch your stocks. You live off the cash in your bridge fund for a couple of years until the market recovers. Statistics don't lie. A 10% dip happens almost every year. A 20% bear market happens every 6 years. Even for a major crash, the average recovery time is usually 1 to 2 years. If you have a 3-year bridge fund, a market crash isn't a tragedy, it's just a headline. But what about health insurance? In the US, if you retire early, people think insurance will cost $2,000 a month. Here's what most people don't realize. Under the Affordable Care Act, ACA, your subsidy is based on your income, not your wealth. If you are living off your savings, your taxable income might be very low. Even if you have $2 million in the bank, I've seen early retirees qualify for silver level plans for less than $100 a month because they structured their withdrawals correctly. Look at the median 401k balances in America right now. The average is skewed by the rich. The median, the person right in the middle, only has $34,400. At a 4% withdrawal rate, that is only $1,376 per year in income. The traditional budget and save 5% advice is a total failure. It is not generating escape velocity. If you want different results, you have to use a different architecture. Wealth isn't about being the best at spreadsheets. It's about being the best at system design. Stop trying to fix your discipline. Start fixing your structure. Set up the reverse budget tomorrow. Automate a transfer, even if it's just $100, to an investment account the day you get paid. Calculate your Coast Fire number. Know exactly how much seed money you need to never worry about age 65 again. Attack the big three. Can you move? Can you drive a cheaper car? Can you optimize your taxes? One big three move is worth 10,000 skipped lattes. Financial independence is the mathematical outcome of structural optimization. It's about securing the only asset that actually matters, your time. If you're ready to stop counting pennies and start building an empire, leave a comment below. I want to know who's ready to change the game. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Now go build something.